Welcome to the stream, guys. We'll get started in a second here. And of course, I was talking on mute. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Adrel Show. This is, like I just said, the Adrel Show. So basically, we generally look at World of Warcraft gold making. We look at mount collecting, and then we also spend a decent amount of time on alt armies. And so today's stream is going to be primarily focused on that, right? We're just over a week away from the early access going live for the War Within, which is the new World of Warcraft expansion. And essentially, we want to set ourselves up to be able to make as much gold as humanly possible, given the limited amount of hours we have in a day, because, of course, the most gold possible would require just an ungodly amount of time and energy. But essentially, today's stream, we're going to be focused on alt armies. Now, alt armies, if you're not aware, what I mean by that is having alternative characters that we play. In the War Within, this is going to be extremely powerful because of the fact that Blizzard has made a bunch of things account-wide. So you can basically unlock things on your main character, and then all of the other characters you create after that will have access to them. And this really impacts every aspect of the game. First and foremost, the first character you get to level 80 will unlock a 5% experience boost for all other characters. And you can keep getting an additional 5% boost for the first 5 characters you level. So by the time you're leveling your 6th character, you're now leveling 25% faster, which is awesome in and of itself. But that's just one example, right? The other things that they've changed in the War Within is that now, like factions or reputation or renown is account-wide as well. So if you max out reputations on your main character, all of your alternative characters, or alts as we call them, will have access to all the rewards and all the benefits from all that as well. So that's also super powerful. The other thing is, strictly from a gold making perspective, or largely from a gold making perspective, they've changed it so that basically the way the system now works is that every single character has a pool of a resource called concentration, which you can use to basically craft better quality items than you would normally be able to do. The only limiting factor is that you only have 1,000 of this concentration. And thankfully this is per profession. So if you have, let's say, blacksmithing and tailoring, you would have you would have 1,000 concentration for blacksmithing and 1,000 concentration for tailoring. But essentially we can get somewhat around that system a little bit by just having more characters, right? Each character has a pool of 1,000. And while it may not be as efficient to spend this concentration on one of your alternative characters, because you probably don't have as many knowledge points or as much skill or whatever else it is, right? You've invested less time in that character. So you may only be able to do 1 or 2 crafts, where probably if you invested a lot more time in that character, you'd be able to maybe do 3 or 4 crafts, right? But ultimately, having more alternative characters is just going to translate to more gold, assuming you have the time to spend on them. It's I wouldn't say it's a very linear return. You're definitely gonna having 5 characters and spending an hour on those is going to be more powerful than having 20 characters. Like your gold per hour is probably going to be higher from those 5 characters, but with how easy it is to level up alternative characters in, as easy as it's been during the War Within pre-patch event, as well as during the Mists of Pandaria remix event, we've leveled up a whole bunch of alts, right? I plan on having at least about 40 alts. I haven't actually tabulated how many level 70s I have at this stage, but we've leveled up a whole bunch, right? And I think we're definitely at the point where at this stage, I don't think I have a shortage of alts. I think the bigger limiting factor is going to be how much time I can spend and how much energy I can put into gold making before I get burnt out with this game, which I definitely don't want to do. So yeah, with that said, yeah, I've been playing this game for 20 years, and I tend to burn out a couple of months into each expansion. The hope with this one is that I don't, and I'm hoping that also streaming stuff will make things a little bit more pleasurable. Now, to begin with, what we're going to do is we're basically going to start off on the retail servers itself. So these are the live characters, right? The Dragonflight, the pre-patch servers. And we're just going to go through quickly, complete some of the retail chores. I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing on each of my alts just to gear up. Quite literally gear up, as in getting better regular gear so that they can blast through the War Within content early on fairly easily, as well as upgrading all their profession tools. That's another thing I'm trying to do, because basically the profession tools that you have for Dragonflight, while they won't be nearly as powerful as the ones that we'll get in the War Within, these ones, as you can see, for instance, 110 resourcefulness will actually carry over into the War Within professions. Now, the bonus skill that we get here will not carry over, because as it says there, it's plus 10 Dragon Isles blacksmithing skill specifically. But the resourcefulness will carry over. And so ideally for all these characters that, I hadn't bothered upgrading the gear on a lot of my characters. I mean, I think on this guy for mining, we still have green tools, and that to rank 2 green tools, right? I should probably upgrade these to the blue versions. I don't know if I have enough artisans metal on this character, but we'll see. We'll go over some ways that you can pick up, some bonus artisans metals and artisans metal. There we go. Yeah, so I have about 768, which means I can probably craft 2 of these items, but not the 3rd one, because you need a total of, I believe it is 300 artisans metal. So we'll figure that out, right? We'll go through and we'll craft all of those items, and we'll upgrade all that profession gear. Beyond that, I mean, I am still doing the weekly quests, mainly because for some of my professions, I haven't maxed out all the knowledge points. There's not really any benefit to doing so at this stage, but it's just the completionist in me wants to do that. But yeah, so we'll go through what like the weekly chores are, right? What we want to, what we want to be doing on each of these characters, what the lowest effort, like gearing up strategy for a lot of these characters is. If you haven't picked up the mounts and pets, or the mount, I guess it is plural mounts because you technically unlock a horde and an alliance mount from the pre-patch event. You'll want to farm up currency for that. You'll also want to, ideally get as much of the currency as you can to gear up either your own character or to gear up other characters or to unlock transmog. All the other things that we like to, as WoW players, we care about collecting. After that, we'll hop onto the beta, the War Within beta realms, and we'll take a look at where the new profession tools are going to come from. The reason this is powerful is because one of the things we want to do with our alt army is we want to idly be able to craft the profession tools on a different character than our main one to save a currency called Artisan's Acuity, because it's very limited. And essentially Artisan's Acuity, you have a couple different choices on what you can spend it on. You'll only be able to get about 300 or 400 in the first week, and probably like 150 if you're lucky per week after that. Right, there is a catch-up mechanism, so if you don't get your full 300 in the first week, you'll be able to catch up in the second week, for instance. But you'll need to pick whether you want to spend that Artisan's Acuity on either knowledge points, on profession equipment, or if you want to spend it on unlocking new recipes. And that's going to be a tough choice because all three of those are going to lead you to get more gold. It's just going to, it's going to be complicated to pick which one. Luckily, one of them we can sort of outsource to our alts, because with the crafting order system, you can actually send a crafting order for a lot of your profession tools to an alternative character and therefore use up their Artisan's Acuity pool, I guess, or use up their Artisan's Acuity is the point. So we want to look at which profession tools come from which other profession and which ones they can craft for themselves, and sort of if we can get an estimate of roughly how many mats we need in case we're farming them ourselves, or in case that we want to be able to, we want to be able to just buy them off the auction house, right? We sort of need to know how many we need to buy. And then lastly, depending on how long the first two parts of the stream take us, we may also, and I'm already chuckling because this has never gone right for me in the past, we may also try and hop back into Remix. It's ending in 5 days. That's Miss Pandaria Remix, which is like a limited time game mode in the world of Warcraft. And basically, we're going to try and see if we can level a character in under an hour. I mean, look, let's not shoot for the stars. Let's try and aim for an hour. But we'll see how we're doing on timing. The event is going away in a couple of days. And so I do want to see if we can finally, for once, get remix leveling right on stream. Every time I have tried to do it on stream in the past, something or the other has gone catastrophically wrong. The first time I did it, I don't remember what happened. Well, the first time we did it, basically it just took too long to find raid groups, and so that wasn't great. The second time we did it, I farmed up too many of the tokens because I misunderstood something, and we ended up having way more experience tokens than required to level up a character, which was not great either. And then the third time we did it, I think it was the third time we did it, we got glitched out, and like someone messed up one of the bosses in Scarlet Monastery, and so we ended up basically scuffing the run because of that. We couldn't do anything with those characters for a while. And then I don't remember what happened the last time. But something went catastrophically wrong the last time as well. It's just not being a good series of attempts at leveling in Remix on stream. But hopefully we can break that curse and actually do well today. All right, so fingers crossed. Hopefully we get through everything else in good enough time that we can do one of those runs, and hopefully we can do it without anything going wrong. Now, that said, if you are watching live, thank you so much for joining us on the stream. Drop a message in chat. It's always way more fun for these streams. Like, I have a rough outline, right? But it's always way more fun if things are interactive, if you guys are chatting and asking questions or we're discussing things. It always makes it a lot more fun, because otherwise it can sometimes just be me going through my chores and and sort of explaining what I'm doing and stuff like that, which, I mean, I'll do it, but I do prefer if there's a bit more interactivity. So if you are watching live, drop a message in chat. And of course, do all the other things, right? The like, the follow, subscribe. I probably don't need to say all that. But anyway. All right, we're going to take a quick little break, and I will be right back to get started with the stream. See you guys in a sec. All right, so we are back. I just want to quickly change my shirt out. I didn't like the way the other one was looking on camera. Anyway, that's the behind the scenes. You may also notice that we have some new music. Just thought I'd change it up to something a little bit, well, it was supposed to be a bit more hype. I don't know that this is necessarily that much more hype, but anyway. One other thing, and I promise I'm not bragging, that I've been doing is basically just running LFR, because our buddy Seek Judd, who's usually on the stream, pointed out to me that you can actually unlock a bunch of cool Drake Watcher manuscripts from running LFR for the last two bosses. I was also doing this last week because of the fact that I wanted to unlock the vaults. And so we'll talk about some of the other things that are changing, some of the other things that you should make sure to do on every single character that you can. But one of the things that I was doing was running LFR, and funnily enough, I didn't actually do that many runs, considering that this is, I think, a 0.2% drop rate in LFR, but I actually managed to get the embodiment of the blazing to drop for me. And so it is account wide, but you need to manually go in and apply it on each character. So we'll throw this up as well. And yeah, so this is the full transformation that we unlocked, the blazing renewed proto Drake. And so just a reminder there, if you haven't unlocked that yet, you definitely want to be doing LFR on all of your alts if you can, because it literally takes like 5 minutes, and it's going to be a lot easier, trust me, right now to farm this than it will be later on, because I doubt we'll be able to solo it until, you know, a couple patches into the War Within. And so yeah, this is a pretty sick looking mount, if I do say so myself. But yeah, just very excited to have unlocked this, and so I wanted to show it off on stream. All right, and hopefully seeing me get mine will encourage the RNG gods to smile upon you and have a drop for you as well. All right, first things first, one of the things that we want to do on all of our characters is come over to the Great Vault if you've unlocked slots for them. Like I said, I've just very casually been doing LFR, which for most of my alts did unlock at least one slot of the Great Vault. Now, it's really up to you whether you want to take the currency and then buy crests with it to actually, you know, upgrade gear as you want, or if you just want to, you know, pick up pick up some items for transmog or a higher eye level item, which is this case, for instance. You know, I'll just go ahead and pick this simply because of the fact that I need that I guess I now care about transmog. Never used to before. Downloaded all the things, and it has been both the best and worst thing that has ever happened to me, because I'm now finding myself caring about transmog items that I never did before. But we are trying to unlock as much of the transmog as possible. The other thing you want to do is you're probably getting a bunch of eye level 480 gear, and heck, even 493 gear in some cases from, well, not in some cases, the first time you do the launch event. So basically you'll get a little chest the first time you do, the first time you take out any of the bosses in the launch event, right? You'll get a chest that gives you an eye level 493 piece of champion gear. Let's see if we can see which piece this character got. Yeah, so here, our helm, right? We unlock the 493 helm. But what you want to do before upgrading any of these pieces of gear is come over to the catalyst here, which is located just over here in Tierhold in Thaldrazzus. It's only been the full expansion, folks, and I still don't fully know how to pronounce that, so it is what it is. And just make sure that you convert all of your items to tier piece. The reason we want to do that is twofold. First of all, for your tier set bonus, right? Whatever it is for your class, you wanna unlock that. The other reason to do it is to unlock the transmog, right? And so in the case of this piece, we're actually probably what we should be converting is our waist guard, just because of the fact that it's a veteran piece. Although I think actually, since we just got that item, we don't even need to use up a charge. I'm just looking at how many charges we have here, and I think actually what I'm going to do is use it up on the helm piece, because I need that transmog for LFR. And so if you're not sure as to which set we're looking at, just convert one of them, or at least pop it into the catalyst, and it'll tell you what set you're going to unlock. So in the case of Paladins, for this season, it's the Heartfire Sentinel's Authority. And basically, we've unlocked most of the pieces on normal. I think we still need to upgrade a couple, right? We need to upgrade... Wait, 1 second. What's going on? Why is it saying we don't have this unlocked if we do? Oh, we don't have the Raid Finder appearance. Okay, yeah, so that is correct. Let's go ahead and catalyze that. But essentially, if you convert them at eye level 480, you'll unlock the Raid Finder appearance. And if you then upgrade them all the way to eye level 493, I believe it is, you'll unlock the normal mode appearances as well, which normally I probably wouldn't care that much about. But I do like having complete class sets, because I think those generally tend to look pretty good. And so that's why I am now attempting to do that on as many different classes as possible, to see if we can just unlock more class sets, right? Because with the tremendous alt army that we have, and especially with the new warband loading screen, where you can basically see 4 characters on your login screen, I'm actually going to start caring a lot more about transmog. I would very, very casually transmog sets in the past, but Blizzard's warbanding stuff has gotten me to start caring about transmog. Gosh dang it! All right, now we wanted to re-equip this belt. I think it was right, because this is part of the set, and this, if we can upgrade to 493, will unlock the normal mode. Let's see which other pieces we need here. We need the wrists, we need the waist, and we need the feet. So let's go ahead and upgrade. Why are we using Whelpling's crests for this? I thought the whole idea was that if we were to... Okay, there we go. Yeah, we don't use up any crests because we already have a 486 piece. We're using crests only after that. So let's go ahead and upgrade this to 493. And you'll see there we just unlocked the normal mode belt appearance. And so we just need to farm up enough crests at some point or the other in order to upgrade our boots and our bracers to 493. Let's go ahead and do the boots, since we already have enough of everything to do that. I think we'll need some more Whelpling's crests, which we could farm up pretty quickly, but we don't want to get too distracted on the stream because we do have a lot of things left to do. All right, let's quickly let's quickly finish off all of our profession stuff. The first thing you want to do on every single character, whether or not you have professions on them actually, is come over to Thomas Bright right here in Valdrakken, and he'll have a quest for you called Show Your Metal, which will give you 150 free Artisan's Metal, assuming any of your characters is esteemed, which is basically maxed out on the reputation with the Artisans Consortium. And Artisan's Metal is going to be super handy for what we're going to do in a second here, which is make sure that we upgrade all of our profession gear, right? That's the other reason that we want to do our profession quests, is to basically max out how much Artisan's Metal we have on each character. And yeah, I'm probably not going to bother doing these quests right now on stream, just because I don't think it's the most exciting thing. Let's go ahead and use up these different knowledge point items that we looted somewhere along the way. And heck, we may as well even use up these expedition tokens, like these different rep tokens, since they are account wide. Another thing you can do, and maybe we will do, I was gonna say we can probably go turn in our Dream Warden's quests, because those are super trivial to do now with those tokens, right? You get a little cash and you unlock some more transmog and whatever else. So ideally you should be doing those on all of your alts. But again, I don't know if we're gonna bother doing it on stream. Now, we'll hop onto our engineer on that account. On my second account here, I have my bankers, and so what I've basically been doing and what we're doing on Monday's stream is crafting a whole bunch of items that we can sell on other realms. The reason being is that with the warbank system, war banks and now actually even guild banks are region wide. So with yesterday's patch, guild banks are region wide, which is also a game changer. If you happen to be like me, and I'm probably in the minority here, but I own my own guild bank because I bought a guild with guild bank tabs for super cheap a couple of years ago. But either way, essentially with the war bank, you can very easily transfer items to other realms. Now that's super powerful, because if you're anything like me and you play on a high pop server, right? I play on Illidan North America, which is one of the busiest servers, in the world, right? But one of the fullest population servers in the entire world as well. Prices for finished goods are not necessarily all that high. What I mean by that is, right, this crafted PvP gear will probably sell for about 600, 500, I've seen it as low as 400 gold on my home server. By transferring it onto another realm, I can now sell it on this server. For instance, these pieces, we don't have trade skill master showing up here, but you can see sort of in the middle of the tooltip there that the auction house price on this realm is 19,497. So it's the exact same item. It takes the exact same amount of effort to post the item, right? If anything, maybe a little bit less, because I don't need to cancel scan and bother doing like auction house PvP for these items. I also, just a heads up, because I don't think I mentioned it on last stream, if you hear a telephone ringing, that's not my actual like cell phone ringing or anything like that. It seems to just be a part of the music that we get from Chill Hop, and I'm not sure if there's like a setting. I don't think I have anything set up that should be doing that, but I think it's just a part of their their tracks, I guess. So we have to make do with that. But essentially what I'm doing is I've created a bunch of level 10 Volperas on realms that I think may be interesting to sell things on. And essentially what I do is I'll log on to them real quick. The reason we created Volperas is because of the fact that they start in Orgrimmar, they have extra bag space, and also they have like an extra hearth, which isn't super useful for cross-realm trading, but could be of use to us later on down the line. So I figured if I was going to create these alts anyways and use them as bankers, then the extra bag space was the main reason to create Volperas, and the fact that they start directly in Orgrimmar, right? But essentially what I'll do is I'll hop onto a realm, I'll quickly come over, do an auctionator search for cross-realm, and this is just a selection of some of the items that I care about selling on these realms. And you know what, let's go ahead and add a couple more, because I did not include these trinkets, which we're also now selling cross-realm. And this has been my little gold making secret, because of the fact that a lot of people talk about the crafted PvP jewelry, right? The rings and the necks. Fewer people talk about the cloaks, which has definitely been my biggest seller after the rings. But the cloaks sell super well as well because cloaks don't have an armor type. So whoever you are, whatever character, whatever class you're playing, whatever armor type they use, they're going to need a cloak, and that's going to come from tailoring. And so the cloaks sell really well in my experience. And then lastly, these trinkets, because again, the trinkets can be used by any class, right? If you have the time and energy and bandwidth to post like more specific crafted gear, like the leatherworking crafted PvP gear, or the leather, the mail, the plate, the cloth, crafted PvP gear, have at it. There's good gold to be made in those as well. Don't get me wrong. It's just I cannot be bothered to manage that much inventory across all of these, like across this many realms, and that's why I really haven't bothered. But you can definitely make some solid gold there as well. I'm mainly just focused on things that all classes and all armor types and basically everyone would be a potential customer for. But then I'll just pop over to Trade Skill Master and quickly post everything up. And so I would say each of these servers takes me maybe 5 to 10 minutes, if that, right? Super low time investment, and we'll pop up in Journalator in a second here, which will give us an estimate of how much we've sold. Now, 9,999 gold is not a great price for these, right? I have other realms where I've sold them for as much as like 15, 20,000 gold. At the very least, a lot of realms, at least they're like 1,500 to 2,000 gold. But honestly, I have a bunch of inventory and I'm already on this character, so I bothered to actually post them. But let's take a quick look here. If we can we do this by realm? Okay, we'll do it by character. And so Illidan, like I said, is our main realm, right? Which is this one up top here. And this is, I think, only looking at the last month worth of sales. And this is only sales on one account, so this is not my total sales across the entirety of the region. But already you can see that on Shadow Council, for instance, right? I've sold 65,000 gold worth of inventory at a much higher margin than I would have been able to sell it on Illidan, right? And I've really only been doing this, can we look at the last week? Yeah, there we go. This is probably a better indicator, right? In the past week, I've sold 423,000 gold worth of stuff, of which actually only about 200,000. So less than half of my revenue has been on my home realm, right? These two are the only characters on Illidan. Let's remove the characters from Illidan, and you'll see that actually 223,000 gold has come from other realms, right? And that's doing exactly what we're doing right now, which is just hopping onto this character. I've disabled most of my add-ons just so that the login and log out times are super quick on them. And then let's see, I think I still have another character that we have another character that we need to do this on, but we'll basically log on, right? Because of the fact that we have so few add-ons enabled, we don't have weak auras or anything else that's like heavy on the client or will make login times take longer. We'll be able to log in super quick on this character, quickly open up our mail, dump any gold that we made into the war bank, and then pull out from the war bank any other inventory that we need to restock for that realm, right? So this realm, for instance, we didn't sell anything, which is not great, but will happen from time to time. The only difference is that when we do sell things, we'll sell them at a way higher margin than we would make on Illidan, and so it kind of evens out that way. One of the things that I have been considering is whether I should get Trade Skill Master Premium, because it would help. It would cut out this whole step of looking at having to manually look up what the prices are for each of these items on each of these realms, right? But again, look, the PvP trinkets are going for 4,300 gold, like 10,000 gold, 14,000 gold, right? Whereas on my home server, those go for like barely any profit, right? I think they cost me 1,800 gold to make, and if I'm lucky, I can sell them for like 2,000 gold. Let's pull out a bunch of bags here because I do like the pricing on this realm, and we do have a bunch of bags in inventory. There's not really too much of an advantage to holding on to a bunch of bags. All right, let's post 2 of each of the trinkets. Oh, we ran out of one of the trinkets. I should probably craft more of them, but again, lazy. We have 2 of the crit rings, and what I'm doing here is just basically every time you craft this gear, it can roll with 1 of 3 stats. They all come with versatility, but the secondary stat is either mastery, crit, or haste, right? The usual stats that you can get on gear, because of the fact that they all come with versatility. There's no like double versatility item. But basically, I want to have at least about 2 of them posted on each realm. Does it make a huge difference in the sales rate? Probably not. But I know when I buy these pieces of gear, I definitely look at the secondary stats, and I would assume that most people who are buying, you know, especially on these servers where they're going to be paying a lot more, if you're paying, you know, 1,000 gold for a trinket, you may not care too much about what the secondary stat split is. If you're paying 14,000 gold, like this one here, you're probably gonna want the you know, the stats that are gonna be best for you, and so that's why I try to have a bit of a variety of what I'm like, which stat combinations I'm selling. Let's go ahead and post a couple more bags on here as well. And so just at a glance, this server, if everything sells, is another 122,000 gold in revenue, but at much higher prices, at much higher margins than we would make on Illidan. And again, that barely took us any time, right? I intentionally didn't like swap over to another character to check that out. All right, and then lastly, this is more of a meme than anything else. I had to create an alliance character on Moonguard because everyone knows the best way to make gold is to be an alliance character on Moonguard and dance on the mailbox in Goldshire, which is an old school WoW meme. I don't know how many players would still get that reference. But anyway, I'm going to take a quick 10-second break and we will be right back. And we'll do the exact same thing on Moonguard. And then we'll hop back onto our main account and start getting through all of the Alt Army prep that we need to do. All right, we are back. So thank you again to everyone who's watching live. And if you are enjoying the content, well, first of all, if you're watching live, drop a message in chat. Let me know what's up. And if you're watching the video on demand later on, drop a message in the comments, right? Follow, subscribe, do all the things. I'm not gonna bother listing all of them because, come on, y'all know at this point. All right, now. By the way, most of the banker alts that I was creating through allied races, so that we start in the city and all of that fun stuff, I was creating as rogues. I don't really know why, but the actual class that you want to create any banker alts with is mage, because at level 10 you already have access to blink, so getting in and out of the bank will just be that little bit speedier. And if you've been playing Remix at all, or if you're anything like me, having move speed increases. I mean, to be fair, I main a monk, so I'm used to just like speedily getting through everything. Like walking, like running at regular speed bores the life out of me. And so movement speed buffs are always fun to have in this game, right? In any case, we'll do the exact same thing. We'll pull out some of the trinkets. We'll pull out some of the different items, right? Ooh, the trinkets are selling for a pretty penny on this realm as well. Rings, not so much. Cloaks, decent amount. And for whatever reason, the enchanting profession tools are also selling really well. I mean, it depends on how much gold you're trying to make. If you're really trying to make a whole bunch of gold. What happened to the auction house? Where are our auctioneers? The heck? Why did they just run in like this was a play? What on earth is going on? If you all can't tell, it's been a while since I played Alliance, so Did someone maybe pull them? Maybe there was like a horde character that like pulled them out or something. Oh, I guess I can't check from my combat log because I wasn't involved. But that was weird. If you do play Alliance, let me know in chat or comments if that's a normal thing that happens. Maybe it's like the auction house NPCs in Valdraken who will like randomly transform into dragons, and then you can't interact with the auction house for a couple minutes. It's like they're doing a stage play. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a lore reason. I don't know if it's just me being dumb. But yeah, I think there probably was like a horde character that like pulled out all the auctioneers or something because of the fact that there's all these Stormwind City guards that are on top of the auction house block for some reason right now. So that was kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is. We posted our auctions. We pulled out a little bit of gold, right? We made a little bit of gold because I think we sold one item for like 300 gold, and that's that character done. So that's literally how quick it is to sell things on other servers. All right, coming back over to our main account. Now, first things first, let's go and upgrade our renewed Proto Drake, as it was. Is that what it's called? Yeah, renewed Proto Drake. Let's upgrade this to the Blazing because we want that sick look that we've unlocked, right? And where is it? Renewed. We gotta add that to our toolbar because I want that to be my default dragon riding mount. When my mount macros don't work, I like to have a handy little button that just mounts one of the dragon riding mounts that I know can take passengers on it, and so that's what we're doing here. And welcome to the stream, everyone who's just joining us. I see we had a couple more people join us on Twitch. Welcome. All right, let's see here. We've got we've got to open mail because initially I was using my warbank to store mats, and then I realized that was a really inefficient way of doing it. I guess if you have more tabs, or if you're less cheap than I am and are willing to spend more on warbank tabs, right? I unlocked the ones. Basically, I unlocked the 10,000 one, the 25,000 one, the 50,000 one, and the 100,000 one gold ones. I haven't felt like paying 500,000 for another bank tab, especially since I have an entire guild bank that's now region-wide as well. But definitely, if you've unlocked more of the tabs, then you probably don't need to be as miserly as I am. But also because of the fact that I play on 2 accounts, it's just easier for me to keep the mats that I need on the character that has that profession. All right, so like I said, come pick up your metal, right? We want as much artisan's metal as we can get. Pick up your different weekly quests, right? We picked up the alchemy one because this character has alchemy. We'll pick up the engineering crafting orders one. And then what we're gonna do is basically on each of these characters, I mean, complete the weekly quests idly so that, you know, especially for something like engineering where most of the items we craft for engineering will keep some amount of demand because of the fact that there's toys and there's different things that you can, you know, do that you can craft with engineering that are sort of expansion neutral, right? A particular favorite one for me in Dragonflight that I think will continue to be a decent source of gold is this rummaging through scrap ability, because of the fact that you can get, I think it's a total of 4 BOE toys. This is one of them, right? And we're in Dragonflight, and this is selling for 70,000 gold, which is when people are still using their Dragonflight tinkers all the time, and so getting a bunch of scrap very, very easily. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, if you're an engineer, you can craft for yourself these items, primarily in your helm slot and in your bracer slot, that you can put a tinker into. And that a tinker is basically an engineer-specific gem that allows it to have a special effect. Like in this one, we have a tinker that gives us a flamethrower. And in this one, we have a tinker that gives us invisibility. The point is, every time you use one of these, it has a chance to fail and give you some scrap. And then basically, once you collect 5 of the scrap, you hit this button here, and you rummage through 5 pieces of scrap, and you usually get a gray item, but every now and then you will get one of these 4 toys. And like I'm saying, right now, these are already going for 70,000 gold. You best believe these are going to be worth a lot more in the War Within. That's the whole reason why I haven't used them or sold them yet, because I'm just holding on to them. And you know, once we're like a couple weeks into the War Within and no one's doing Dragonflight content anymore, these are going to be worth a lot more than this. I wouldn't be surprised to see these going for like 4 or 5 times the price, right? It's just supply is going to decrease a lot, but the demand is still going to be there because people love collecting toys, people love collecting pets, people love collecting mounts, and of course transmogs as well. So that's why we're doing that. Ideally, I want to upgrade, well, on these characters, you'll see here that I have 5 personal orders pending, and all of these are from my alts. Because of the fact that I'm trying to upgrade all of my profession equipment to the max quality possible. I kind of wish I had done this yesterday. So one of the things that we didn't talk about earlier on in the stream, that now is probably as good a time as I need to get to, is the fact that we had a patch yesterday called 11.0.2. If you're playing on European realms, take note of this and use up all of your concentration today. I think the patch is today for y'all. So I'm not sure if servers for Europe have gone down yet or not, but Blizzard nerfed the ever-living crap out of concentration. Prior to the patch, right, I could guarantee max quality crafts on this for like 11 or 12 concentration, which is not the way it's supposed to work, apparently. Apparently the way it was working when they launched the pre-patch was incorrect. It actually was optimized on the beta, and they just got something wrong when they released the pre-patch. Shocker, I know, small indie company and everything. And that is how it's supposed to work, where it is supposed to require just a boatload of concentration like this, and not like 8 concentration the way it worked before. The other thing that we had sort of figured out was that using Illustrious Insights prior to the patch was giving you more than the 30 skill it says in the tooltip it would, right? They've since fixed that, and it seems like now it does actually just give you 30 bonus skill, which kind of sucks. But at the same point, my choices, let's actually do the math here. My choices as an engineer, if we open up recipe scan in Craft Sim, my choice as an engineer is either, and let's see if we've set this properly to concentration value. Yep, we have. Is I make an extra 1,000 gold, right, by crafting one of these Tinker Shadowflame rockets and hoping that it sells. Strangely enough, because this is sold on the region-wide auction house, there's only 2 of these listed region-wide, which seems kind of wonky. This may actually be worth doing, because we can guarantee 4,800 gold profit, which is kind of bananas, right? And I think we have some spare Shadowflame essences lying around our warbank anyway, and I think we have some Dracothist as well. So we may craft one of these, but we'd have to fly all the way over to the Shadowflame area and do all that fun stuff, which I don't know if I can be bothered. And like I said, I'm sort of a bit more keen on upgrading all of my characters' gear. The downside of this change is that now I'm going to have to spend a lot more on mats, because I'll probably need to use rank 3 Arclight Capacitator, I'll probably have to use a rank 3 Arclight Capacitor, rank 3 Kazgarite ore, and rank 3 Greased Up Gears to minimize the amount of concentration I have. Otherwise, I'd only be able to do 3 of these tools, and I need to do 5. Right, and as we can see, these all require 352 concentration as it currently stands. Let's see if we have mats to make more Illustrious Insights. As you can probably tell from we have a bunch of Illustrious Insights, but they're not really going to be all of that much use to us. We'll craft 5 of them because we do need, we need 5 of them because we'll use 1 for each of the profession tools we're crafting for our alts. The rest of the Artisan's Metal we may use to craft profession tools for another character, and just craft them straight at rank 5 and not waste time crafting them at lower qualities. Now, unfortunately, we can't use Craft Sim's queuing system for this because of the fact that it doesn't work for recrafts. But Profession Shopping List, which is this add-on right here, let me try and I need to clear up my inventory. Let me know in the chat if my inventory is too complicated and annoys any of y'all, because I'm sure it probably does annoy a bunch of people out there. In any case, Profession Shopping List is this tool, this add-on here. It's got a bunch of cool features, but one of the lovely things it allows you to do is on any recipe, you can just hit the track button, hit a track button in the top right corner here, and it will add it to your queue, as well as tell you what reagents you need for it, which makes it a lot easier to then hit the auction house and pick up everything that you need. So let's go ahead and do that. We've queued up all of the recrafts that we need to do. What we also should take a look at is what we, for our engineering tools here. I suspect we're going to run out of concentration and not have enough concentration to upgrade our own items. But we should ideally pick up mats for this as well. I'm not sure if these will get any cheaper in the days to come. And it looks like there's 2 of these items that we need to upgrade, and we're going to need a good amount of concentration for these as well. So we're gonna have to prioritize. I think I probably care more about upgrading some of the items for my tailor and for my jewel crafter, just because those are my main characters. And then probably in a couple of days, once we've regened all of our concentration, or if we get lucky and we proc ingenuity, then we will craft the rest of these, and we'll pick up some sagacious incense as well. You can see the price on these has already gone up a little bit, probably because of the fact that more people care about ingenuity now that the amount of return you're getting, like now it really matters if whether or not you get concentration back. I am a little bit happy that on Monday's stream we went through and did that whole crafting cycle, because I was putting it off, but we crafted a whole bunch of things before they nerfed concentration. Because for enchanting it was wacky, right? I was guaranteeing rank 3 crafts with like 14 concentration, which was super broken, and probably should have figured out at that point that they were going to fix it and that it was a bug, and that wasn't working as intended, because it did seem awfully generous. But hey, I thought, look, the expansion's over. Blizzard's realized that at this stage we may as well be able to just craft whatever we want at whatever quality and so forth. But turns out that was a mistake. Anyway, oof, this is gonna be painful, right? Because these mats aren't particularly cheap at rank 3. We don't have any on our alts, although Trade Skill Master hasn't been doing a great job of updating me about that. But in any case, we'll spend the extra gold and try and minimize how much freaking gosh darn concentration we need to use up, right? Because even with the illustrious insights, I think we're probably still going to be spending a good amount of concentration on craft, guaranteeing each of these at rank 5, right? So this whole exercise is probably going to cost me about 10,000 gold just in engineering, which I'm not super stoked about, because I kind of put off upgrading these tools thinking it would get cheaper, and I suppose in some ways it has, but in other ways it hasn't really. So not the happiest about this, but hey, it's more important that we get it done, even if it means spending a little bit more gold. We can make back gold later. Yeah. All right, we bought all of the mats that we need at max quality, because that's what we decided to do. All right, let's go over here and let's go ahead and start these recrafting orders. And let's see, we need to pop down our, we'll pop down our craft speed buff. I'm surprised I don't have it already on any of my toolbars, maybe because I'm out of stock on them. Yeah, I don't have any anyways. It's not super important. We will drop down a sagacious incense though, because that is going to help us. Let's see if we function over form. This is in combat equipment. We're already maxed out on everything for the profession tools, and I don't think there's any other trees here that will give us any more skill for these recrafting orders. So we can go ahead and start recrafting these. And I'm actually going to start with the tailoring ones, and specifically the resourcefulness one, because this is probably the tool that I use the most, right? I do craft a lot of things with tailoring. Ooh, even using all rank 3 materials and an illustrious insight, it's still going to cost us 269 concentration, which is kind of brutal. And we only have a 17% chance of having it refunded to us. So not stoked about that, but what are you going to do? Let's go ahead and try our luck at RNG. Okay, not bad. We saved about, like, what is that? Let's look at craft results. Oh, we had that open already? Oh, it doesn't show up here. But in any case, we saved about 700, 800 gold worth of mats here, and we got another knowledge point, and we got some more artisan's metal back. So on the whole, can't be too upset about that. We didn't proc ingenuity, but whatever, right? Let's go ahead and craft our multi-craft tool as well. We need to apply the illustrious insight. And, oh, we don't even need to use up concentration on this one, so that's handy. Interestingly enough, though, we would have had to use up 305 concentration, but if we throw an illustrious insight onto this, we all of a sudden don't need to use up any concentration, so that's kind of nice. But kind of also makes sense, right? Because with the illustrious insight, we have more than enough skill to guarantee this craft. I wonder why that worked for this tool and not the other one. I'm guessing probably because I used cheaper mats when I crafted that item to begin with. All right, let's go ahead and do the resourcefulness one first for dual crafting. I don't know why I keep clicking on this block when it clearly doesn't do anything. Okay, yay. We don't have to use up any concentration here either. And we got our first craft bonus. Oh, Jesus. I thought for a second it didn't craft at rank 5, and that's why it wasn't letting me complete the work order. Start order. Illustrious insight, and that guarantees rank 3 as well. Okay, so we may actually be able to do our engineering profession tools as well. At which point I think we're done. I think that basically then means all of our major crafters do actually have their BIS profession tools for like with all the different specs, with all the different stats as well, right? I don't know why I'm crafting an ingenuity tool, to be honest. I'm probably never going to use this, but 2,000 gold on the off chance that I do need to craft something with ingenuity, or like where ingenuity is profitable, is probably not, still not worth it. But hey, we already hit the button, we already did the thing, so it's too late now. No point crying over spilt milk, as the saying goes. All right, now, no, why are we on that? Are we on that guy? Welcome to the stream, everyone who's just joining. I see we have a bunch more people who hopped on Twitch. What's up? How's it going? I know it may seem like I'm just talking to myself, but trust me, I'm doing this for y'all. So drop a message in chat. Let me know what's up. Let me know how you're prepping for the War Within. Let me know if you have an alt army ready to go, if you're planning on leveling up any more characters between now and the launch of the expansion, right? Are you going to be part of early access? Are you pumped for that? If not, what's your leveling strategy? Are you planning on taking it slow in the first couple of weeks before the season begins? Are you planning on, rushing your main and then maybe getting some alts leveled as well? Or are you planning on just, maybe just degen, grinding herbs and ore and skin and materials to sell to goblins like me who are too lazy to farm things? Let me know in chat. And let me know if there's any topics in specific you want us to cover. But basically on this stream, what the goals are is to get our alt army set up. And so we're primarily going to do that by, first and foremost, we're on the retail servers right now. And we're just going through our profession tools, like we went through our profession weekly quests. We're doing some of those as and when we can. But more than anything else, we're upgrading all of our profession tools, because of the fact that while these tools will not give you bonus skill in the War Within, you will still keep the stats. So if we see 110 resourcefulness here, right, we're not going to get the bonus 10 engineering skill for the War Within, but we will get 142 resourcefulness on all of our War Within crafts with this tool equipped. And so that's why we're just kind of upgrading all of these pieces as much as we possibly can. To just sort of min-max those little things to try and hopefully make ourselves a little bit more gold, if possible, in the first couple weeks of the War Within, or at least save ourselves some gold. I don't know how much gold we're necessarily going to be making by doing all this, but the hope here is that at least the resourcefulness will save us some gold on everything that we craft in the War Within, because mats are going to be super, super valuable in the first couple days. And if we see something that we want to hop on, it may be before I have my War Within tools. In those cases, it'll be handy to have at least some stats, All right, I'm trying to think if it makes sense for us to dump any points into any of these. Right? Do we care about crafting better gear? Not really. Missives would be nice, sure, why not? But I'm wondering if explosives is the better call, or potentially short fuse. I don't think there's any other recipes other than the suspiciously ticking crate, right, that we unlock there. and a suspiciously silent crate that we unlock here. So maybe we should just max out this tree, and then at least we can get the first craft bonus for crafting that suspiciously silent crate. At the same point, I am tempted to try and recraft the engineering pieces that I have here, right? This headpiece. Can we swap out the spark? 476 is not great, but I think if we put in a spark of awakening, then we can craft it to 502, which is higher eye level than the current helm we have, and we can still keep our 4-piece set bonus, so it won't really impact us from that aspect either. And that way I can, while I'm leveling as well, continue to use up the tinker to get more of that, you know, more of these scrap items that we talked about earlier, which we can then rummage through in order to get ourselves more of these toys that sell for a decent bit in Dragonflight and will sell for even more in the War Within if my predictions go correctly. But I think they will, because how could they not, right? If these toys are this valuable in Dragonflight when people are actively doing the content that rewards these toys, they have to go up in price during the War Within when no one's doing any of this. Ooh, we have a dragon shard as well that we need to go turn in at some point, but I don't know if we'll do that on the stream. All right. What were we trying to figure out? We were trying to figure out if it makes sense for us to upgrade our goggles to 502 and or our bracers. Let's see if I can. Oh, I think I do need to max out the knowledge points into this tree though, in order to be able to add optional reagents to them. Had I put missives in when I crafted these? It's allowing me to add items into them, so I'm not 100% certain what's going on here, because it looks like it is allowing me to recraft these with power and with, I mean, the engineering equivalent of a missive, as well as these things, right? Which, if I'm reading this, if I understood this tree correctly, I think we would need to unlock this much. Like, we would need to unlock these nodes in order to be able to do these. But maybe this is focused more on guns and not so much on the helms. Crafting combat equipment. Gears for gear. Utility. Right, this is ammunition and scopes, fair enough. Gears for gear, I think, was just the cogwheels and the optional reagents, as well as the profession equipment, which was always good. But I would assume that combat gear means the helm and the bracers, but it seems to maybe only be impacting the guns, which is kind of strange if that's how that works. Let's see if we can. No, it's letting me add, like, all these slots are unlocked. I can't add a finishing reagent, which is fair enough. But I can add all of these things to goggles and to, are these bracers? Where are the bracers? Are they? Yeah, here we go. Bracers. Yeah, I have all these slots unlocked. So I don't know. Maybe it is just the guns. Weapons, Pew 2. Have I not unlocked a single gun recipe? I guess Old Smoky is the only, like, weapon and that we have to buy off of freaking the auction house, which we're not going to do because at this stage of the expansion, there's no way we're making gold with crafting orders, at least enough to pay for a recipe. All right, so maybe it is literally just Old Smoky that, yeah, we can't customize secondary stats or add an embellishment to. Do we have enough Sparks of Awakening to even be able to do what I'm proposing? Not Sparks. Spark of Awakening. Where are they? Those are Shadow Flame. We might as well. I was gonna say we might as well combine them. I guess we have enough for one spark, and then we can upgrade our helm at the very least, or maybe we do our bracers first, just because of the fact that then we keep our nice little. No, we should probably do our helm first. Although, I'm trying to think. We've unlocked the transmog for both of these pieces anyway, and they're both veteran pieces, so it's not like we can unlock the heroic versions of these anyway. Okay, maybe that's what we do, right? Unless we aspects crest, awaken crest. There we go. Enchanted aspects, awaken worms, awaken crest. So I think basically high level, if we gathered enough crests, we would be able to head over to the enchanting vendor here. Let's go check this out right now and figure out exactly how many of these this would cost. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is if I can craft either of those pieces at like 515 eye level instead. But I don't think we have enough crests for it, and I cannot for the life of me be bothered to farm up like enough Drake's crests to craft better bracers for my hunter. Don't get me wrong, like I'd rather just grind the event and then upgrade the items at the NPC if that's what I was going to. If I was going to grind crests, then that's what we would do. All right, where are we? We wanted to look at infusions with power, right? So we would need a Worm's Awaken crest to craft it at 515 because anything below that is these dreaming items, which don't really help us. We could potentially use them up for I guess for these blue items you can craft at up to 486 with the Whelpling's crests. What happens with Drake's crests? Or is there, oh, there isn't a Drake's crest. There isn't like a nascent Drake's crest. I guess it's only Whelplings, which is like eye level 476, I think, right? Or 408. And then it goes straight to yeah, till 486. And then it goes straight to like the epic items, which I guess if you just use the spark, craft at 502. So, okay, maybe we use the crest and we craft it at 502 and we just do that. I think that's what we're going to do. All right, let's do that real quick. I don't know why we're bothering gearing up a character, but I guess we did say we're prepping an alt army, and that falls within the scope of this video, so, or of this stream. So no one can be too mad at me, right? Please don't be mad at me. Heck, if you are, let me know in the chat. How about that? Let me know in the chat if this is annoying you, that we're, instead of focusing on gold making purely, we're instead focusing on gearing up this character. Though, hey, it's as advertised, we're working on the alt army, focusing more on the army part than the alt part, I suppose. But hey, it's one and the same, I feel like. All right, are we doing? Should we do? Let's do the helm, because I think the helm has a higher stat budget. Except I know we'll be destroying that. We just need frostbite scales and awakened order. Now I wonder what the lowest quality mats I can get away with on this are. I do wonder. Where do we slot the spark into? Is what I was trying to say there. Spark of awakening. There we go. Oh geez, okay, we don't need to use quality 1 mats for anything. Heck, even these frostbite scales we can buy at rank 2. Because that's just how we do. 502, and we will have our Tinker on it. Does this helm have anything special to it other than the fact that it's a tier piece that we don't need because of the fact that we already have our 4-piece bonus? Doesn't look like it. All right, time to hit the auction house. Time to hit the auction house and pick up all of our mats. Awakened order. No auctions available. Okay, yeah, I've made that mistake before where I click on it here and then I accidentally bought like 1,000 of. I remember it was early Dragonflight. I accidentally bought like 1,000 of the items that give you like bonus Loam Niffin rep for each world quest you do. And yeah, I was really upset because I spent like, I think like 70,000 gold on them by mistake. When I wanted to buy one, I ended up buying like 1,000 of them. But I got super lucky because for some reason the price of those skyrocketed in the next week, and so I sold most of them at a profit. But that could have gone really poorly. So don't make sure, like, before you hit the buy now button, make sure that you're buying the right quantity, because it is very easy to make that mistake, especially if you keep a lot of gold on your characters, which I usually try not to do, but then anytime I do that, I end up just getting frustrated because I need to buy something on that character and I don't have the gold on it. So let's take a look at our goal. We went the wrong way. We've gone the wrong way since Monday's stream, where the goal of Monday's stream was to get back over 30 million gold. And we were at 29 million gold. We're now at 28.8 million gold. So we kind of went the wrong way, but a big part of that is because we invested like 150,000 gold into crafting items that we just listed on all of those other servers. And so the maths, and hopefully we should still be on track to be above 30 million gold come the war within. All right, with that said, I'm going to take a quick little break and then we're going to come back, buy out the rest of these mats, craft our professional equipment, and then hop over to the beta and see what else we need to do for our Alt Army Prep on there. All right, see you guys in a sec. We are back. So, what we're doing now is we're going to craft the rest of our profession equipment and also upgrade some of our gear pieces, right? We have a spark. We have a spark. For a second, I thought it was going to tell me that I needed 2 sparks, but we have a spark. We're going to upgrade this item to 502, and that will make it not only a lot easier for us to level up these characters come the war within, but also having the better profession equipment will make it easier for us to craft and level up our trade skills once the war within drops as well. It remains to be seen what we will have access to and what we won't have access to in the early access period. There's been some word that certain things for professions may be restricted. I don't think we have official confirmation from Blizzard on that just yet, but it should be interesting to see what happens there. All right, so we need Khazgarite, or I think we can get away with rank 2. The only question is, are we willing to make another auction house trip to save like 500 gold? Which, again, do as I say, not as I do. Don't do this. But I'm sitting on 30 million gold, and so I'm prioritizing convenience right now. Arclight capacitators. I'm just gonna buy rank 3 versions of everything. And will it cost me a little bit more gold? Yes. Is it the most efficient way of doing things? Nope. But it is what it is. Your boy's lazy, all right? I just want to get done with this, so that we can hop over to the beta and take a look at the fun stuff there. Shock spring coils. Pop, 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 pop. All right. And if you are watching live, thank you so much for joining the stream. Drop a message in chat. Let me know how it's going. Let me know how you're prepping. Are you also upgrading all of your characters' combat gear and profession gear? Or are you just leveling up more alts through the remix? Because after we hop onto the beta, depending on how long we spend on the beta, figuring out all of our profession equipment stuff, we will then potentially hop back into remix and see if we can't level up another set of characters through there. All right, I think we have we have at least 2 pieces of profession equipment. I think one of these I need to send off to someone else. For some reason, the add-on that tells me which profession upgrades I'm 90% certain it's leatherworking, but I did have an add-on that would tell me which. Yeah, there we go. Oh, never mind. All the things does tell me: crafted item, Dragonflight, leatherworking. Versus this one's engineering. So there's 2 of the equipment pieces that we can upgrade ourselves as engineers, which we're going to do, right? And it looks like actually just using up our illustrious insights, we're able to max out most of the engineering tools, which is kind of nice. Welcome to the stream. I see we have someone who just joined us on Twitch. Welcome. How's it going? How's your day going? Drop a message in chat if you are watching live. And sorry, gang, I'm just trying to see if, because I know Twitch, when I used the Twitch app, I was able to see who had, like, the names of people who had joined the stream. But for whatever reason, I don't think I can do that through the app. Heck, if you know how to do that, let me know. Let me know in chat. How I can see, like, who's watching the stream. Calm33XX, what's up? How's it going? I guess it only shows me some of the viewers. But I see we have Con33XX joining us. So what's up? How's it going? Drop a message in chat. Let me know how your day's going. Let me know how you're prepping for the War Within, or if you are, maybe you're not. Did we upgrade this item already? I am fairly confused. I think we upgraded that item already, right? So I don't want to re-upgrade it, spend even more mats. All right, let me move this here just so it's a little bit more intuitive when I'm looking at looking in the direction of the camera if I'm reading chat or doing anything on my iPad. Okay, we need to upgrade this as well. We're going to throw our illustrious insight on here, which will guarantee max level craft. We have the right equipment equipped, and I suppose since we're not using up any concentration, we don't need to bother equipping our ingenuity tool. The other thing we wanted to recraft was our helm, I think we said, right? Because of the fact that the stat budget is higher on that. Yep. Checks out, makes sense. Let's do that. Do we need to add anything else? No, we don't. We don't need to use best quality reagents. We don't have any cheaper reagents in any case, so we're going to end up using the best quality reagents, but we will end up with the 502 helm that we can also use the Tinker on. I think I still need to basically farm up another spark on this character because ideally I want my bracers crafted at 502 as well. Theoretically, actually, for all my other characters as well, at this stage, it may be a better investment for me to just have gear crafted at 502 using the sparks that I have, because it's probably, if you are watching live or you're watching the video on demand as well, let me know in the comments or chat, is that a better use of flight stones to create sparks and then craft gear instead? I guess it would cost more gold, which is really becomes a personal preference thing, I guess, but I don't know if it's necessarily a better use of flight stones. I suppose it would be, right? Because otherwise you need to use up crests and flight stones, whereas flight stones are pretty easy to come by, crests less so. All right, let's apply the rest of this knowledge and let's quickly finish off this quest as well. If we can knock out another tree of engineering, that's gonna make me happy. Bronze Dragonflights. Ooh, those are always good to sell as well when the quest is up. Yep, 109% profit margin on these bad boys. All right, we'll craft enough for ourselves, but if you're trying to make some quick gold, hop on them. Bronze Dragonflights. That's a free gold tip for those of you watching live. Okay, let's remove all these other items from the queue because we've already crafted them. Eternity Ambers. Let's just grab the cheapest ones, and we need 5 of them. And we'll just craft these and get on with our day. I think we should proc multi-craft on a couple of them and so be fine that way. Oh, I do also need to spend all of these antique bronze bullions that all my characters have. I don't know. I don't think they're going away with the launch of the War Within. Like, I think we'll probably still have them in our inventory and the vendors should still be there. I don't want to fearmonger too much, but hey, maybe. Let me start an irresponsible rumor like that. Sorry, gang, just 1 second. All right. We need to craft our bronze dragonflights, and then we need to log off this character and get back to well, hop over to the beta realms, right? And start tinkering around on there. Get it? Engineering, tinkering. Huh. All right, and let's go ahead and use that tinker so that we get some scrap. So basically every time we use the tinker, we loot a piece of scrap, and then like I was saying earlier, we forage around in that scrap in order to get ourselves some of those toys. Now we need to proc multi-craft because of those we're not gonna have enough of these bronze dragonflights. And sure enough, we only crafted 13 of them because I was dumb and didn't buy enough mats to actually craft as many as we need. That's the problem with engineering, is everything is like crafts 2 to 3, which makes engineering just super fun to buy mats for. Because no matter, I mean, even before resourcefulness, right? You could buy enough mats for before resourcefulness is the main game changer there. You could buy enough mats to craft 100 bags, and you would craft 100 bags. Now with resourcefulness, if you want to craft 100 bags, you technically need to only buy mats for like anywhere from like 80 to 90% of how many you want to craft, right? You only need to buy enough mats for about like 80 items, and then probably you'll have some multi-craft and you'll have some resourcefulness procs and stuff like that, so you'll get extra mats that you can use to craft more of the same item or whatever, which is hardly something to complain about. Far be it from me to whine about these things. Why did we only get 2 knowledge points from that? Aren't the quests supposed to give 3? Strange. Very strange. All right, we maxed out another engineering tree, boys. Let's see what else we have on first craft bonuses. Now these, I don't know that I necessarily want to spend like 600 gold for a single piece of like for a single point of knowledge. We could probably craft these for our alts at 502, but most of them I'm gonna want to unlock the tier appearances for anyway, so pointless. I should probably craft this for the first craft bonus. I think these other items all require souls, which means we would need to go farm them, which I'm not going to do. I should probably craft this for my miner though. Oh, and we have enough artisan's metal on this character that they can just send like a crafting order one way. I know Quacky used to sell for a decent bit of gold as well, profit. I don't know if that's still the case, but all the same. All right, was there anything else we needed to do on this character? Oh, we needed to send over, okay, yeah, I remember what it was. We need to send our profession tool over to our profession equipment rather, to our leather worker. And so the way that's gonna work is we'll come over to the crafting order NPC. We'll hit start recrafting order. We'll select the tool that we want to upgrade, right? The shockproof gloves in this case. And then we'll send a personal order to our leather worker, and we'll set it to minimum quality of 5 stars. I'm going to set it to 48 hours because I may or may not remember to do this today, and I don't want to have to log back onto this character to relist it. And then we will place the order. And then when we log on to our leather worker, we'll do the same thing that we did at the start of logging onto this character. And then all of our items are 5-star and we're good to go, right? Technically, I suppose I could bother upgrading alchemy gear on this character as well, but I'm not convinced that I'm going to keep alchemy on this toon. Yeah, we may drop alchemy because we only picked up alchemy on this character during Dragonflight, which means I don't have a bunch of recipes that I'm like super upset to like give up. So in light of that, we may, depending on how alchemy is shaping up, because when we tested it out on beta, it didn't look like it was going to be amazing. There's not like a single cooldown that we care all that much about or anything like that. Oh, I suppose I should probably be doing the event on each of these characters because I do need to grab the gear. The only point is that my system probably is not going to be able to handle 3 instances of WoW, so we'll probably do that on my banker account, and then my main account will take all of our alts through at a later time. Let's go ahead and boot up the beta, as it were, and hopefully it will not ask me to patch anything. Let's double check our add-ons. Right, retail beta. All right, let's update all these add-ons, and I'm going to take a quick break while we update the add-ons and get the beta booted up, and then we will delve into the beta. See what I did there? Because delves are a major part of the War Within. Okay, see you guys in a sec. we are back and we are on the beta. I think we're going to start on the level 80 realms and just go through the profession tools exercise that I was talking about earlier. These go to 11 realm. And so basically what we're looking at on today's stream, if you're just joining us, first of all, welcome. What we're doing on today's stream is just getting our Alt Army, well, we spent some time getting our Alt Army ready in Dragonflight itself, right in the pre-patch on live servers. What we're doing now is we're hopping onto the beta and we're going to try and figure out which professions craft tools for which other professions, if that sort of makes sense. And I'm going to go ahead and just create a new character because why the heck not? And you know what? Let's make him earthen. Let's do an earthen monk because Lord knows I don't have enough monks. And yeah, I feel like it. If you are watching live, drop a message in chat and I will name this character after you. How about that? Oh, it does give me a mild form of anxiety that these dwarves have like gems sticking out of their joints. It seems like that would kind of hurt or be painful. All right, should we go with another? Screw it. Let's just go with the Maghar Orc. Why not? And let's pick a more apt name. Magamol. Boom. No one messaged in chat, so guess what? I picked the name. Log on, and I also want to take. I also need to buy the Alliance version of a certain mount that we'll look at on the live realms. Maghar Direwolf. Oh, I guess because it's our first Maghar character that we've created on the beta realms, as it were. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. All right. So we wanted to come over to the crafting order NPC, and let's open up our little spreadsheet as well that we're tracking all of this in. Adrel show planning. There we go. So this was a prior list of all of the different alts we had. I need to update this because I have created some new alts since then. But what we'll do is, I'm wondering if we should just add it into this because we already have all the professions listed here. So there's that. There is that. And this is basically a list of all of the knowledge point items that are available for each profession. Which, let me know in the comments or chat if you guys want me to post this. Because it's basically, you can just pick whichever profession you have, drop these points into TomTom and fly around looting them, right? Okay, so what we can do is we can actually just come into the crafting order system and use this to figure out exactly what the tools we need are. Now we'll filter on current expansion only, and we'll filter on, well, I suppose the blue and the green will both be crafted by the same professions, right? The point is, what we need to figure out is two things. First of all, we need to figure out which other profession crafts the item for them. And second of all, how we get the recipe to craft that profession equipment for. Now, one of the things that we're planning on doing with our alt armies in the War Within is basically what I was saying earlier, is to craft each of these profession tools, you need to use 300 Artisan's Acuity. The problem is that Artisan's Acuity is very hard to come by, especially in the first couple of weeks. It's going to be heavily time gated. The other issue is that you also need to use your Artisan's Acuity to buy recipes and the knowledge point books. And so basically the recipes, of course, you'll get the first craft bonus from those, but that'll also allow you to enter an entirely new market. So that's extremely valuable. The knowledge point books will give you, more knowledge points, right? You will get back some Artisan's Acuity from each of those knowledge points. I think it's something like 5. It may be as low as 2 though, right? Usually the books give you about 10 knowledge points. We'll hop over to the leveling realms in a bit and check out exactly what we can buy with all of Artisan's Acuity, right? Just kind of figure out what we want to do and sort of make a game plan there. But you can also buy the knowledge books with it. And then lastly, we need them for the profession tools. The point is, the knowledge point books we have to buy and use on the character that we plan on using them on, right? Same thing goes for the recipes. You can the recipes are bind on pickup, so it's not like you can trade them to an alt. For the profession tools, though, if you send a personal work order, you don't need to include all mats, and that includes the artisan's acuity. You can actually ask whoever's crafting the item for you to provide their own artisan's acuity. Does Blizzard fix this for the launch, like for the live version of the game? I don't think so, to be honest. I think they already nerfed the sort of cheese that was going on with being able to purchase. Sorry, give me 1 second. All right, so they already fixed one of the cheeses, right? Where basically you could just fly around, loot knowledge points from each of the, loot all of the treasures that we just looked at in the spreadsheet, and then basically get artisan's acuity off of that, and you were able to get as much as 900 artisan's acuity on each character, which basically meant for each character with the profession that you had, you only needed one alt that you did all that activity on to for each profession, right? Because there's 2 profession accessories and there's 1 profession tool, and each of those costs 300 artisan's acuity each to craft. Plus you needed a little bit more for the recipes, which by and large cost about 150 artisan's acuity each. So you would have only needed about 2 or 3 alts to funnel all the acuity you need. The way that it works now is Blizzard kind of fixed that, and so really the only source of our artisan's acuity are patron/NPC crafting orders, first craft bonuses, and then the introductory quests per character, right? The bulk, and I think it's about 150. I have it in my notes here somewhere. I don't remember where I wrote it down, but yeah, sorry. You get 200 from the first quest that you get. You can get about 250 from your first from the first time you gather every separate type of node, which should take you about an hour. If you pick up herbalism and mining, let's say you fly around in about an hour, you fly through all the zones, you spend about 20 minutes in each zone, and you do you try and scout for the first gathering bonus from each of those nodes. But that's a little bit time intensive, and it is RNG based. Also, there may be a lot of competition for mining and herbing nodes in the first couple of days, especially if you're playing on a high pop server like I do. And so it's not the best. I do want to see how much artisan's acuity we can get just from first craft bonuses, and which profession may work out the cheapest for that. It will really depend on what the different professions are. I have a suspicion that leatherworking may be a good choice for that, simply because of the fact that we craft both leather and plate gear, and so there's a lot more first craft bonuses just that you can get from the recipes that you pick up right off the trainer, right? So I do want to test that out, see realistically how realistic it is for us to get the additional artisan's acuity from that, and also from completing NPC crafting orders or patron crafting orders. But we'll have to see. Give me a second, gang. We're just going to take a quick little break, and I will be right back. Oh, geez, I've been talking on mute this entire time. Good God, this is why we need Seekjut around. He's always the first one to let me know that when I'm talking on mute. Anyways, we've basically just been going through and looking at who crafts what for which profession, as in who crafts what profession equipment for each of these different professions. Wow, it looks like I haven't had this issue where I've been talking on mute in a couple of streams, primarily because of the fact that usually Seekjut's here to remind me that I'm talking on mute. But I think it's also because of the fact that I said that we may level remix characters later, and I think that's why these errors are happening. That's just how scuffed me trying to level in remix is on stream. All right, let's quickly finish off with skinning. But I was also saying I'm putting together a tracking sheet like this. I need to pretty it up a whole bunch, but I was thinking of potentially releasing it for all of you lovely people. If you are interested in something like that, let me know in the chat or comments, and I will polish this up and have it ready to go for all of you lovely people. All right, so we've figured out who crafts what for who. The thing we need to do now is figure out where we get the recipes from. So I'm going to throw a filter on this, and we're just going to filter by each of the professions, and we're going to quickly pick up the profession, figure out where they get the recipe from, and then hop over to another profession. I think we're going to do all this on one character just to speed things along a little bit. Yes, accept, and once we have the profession learned, we should be able to look at what the sources of all these recipes are. Hopefully not a lot of things change between beta and retail. Ideally we would do this on a character to figure out how many knowledge points deep we need to go into blacksmithing to learn this recipe. But anyway, let's see here. This is the artisan's blacksmith hammer, and so the blacksmithing tool is knowledge points. We need to figure out how many we need to spend. The blacksmith's toolbox, I think we just get for unlocking the specialization, right? The leatherworker's knife we just pick up for 150 artisan's acuity. So let's come back up here to leatherworking, and that's the tool, right? The leatherworking tool, 150 artisan's acuity. The tool set is also 150 artisan's acuity. So for leatherworking, we'll need to leatherworking. It's easy to pick up the gear, right? Blacksmithing may pose a bit more of an issue. Let's then look at the tailoring item, which is also 150 artisan's acuity. And I think the bulk of these should be just, you spend the artisan's acuity and you buy the recipe, and that's it. The interesting one is the skinning knife comes from a heavy trunk in a delve. So that may make it a little bit harder for us to come by this. The sickle, why is herbalism not showing on here? Okay. Typed it in the wrong way. That explains that. But 150 artisan's acuity. This recipe is going to come from a heavy trunk, which probably means we can maybe make a decent bit of gold by selling crafting orders for this. And we'll have to see what the drop rates are like on this artisan skinning knife. What do y'all think? Should we check Wowhead to see if Wowhead has any details on this? Since no one seems to want to reply in chat, I guess we'll just do it live. Let's hop over to beta and let's see if anyone has any info on the drop rates for this artisan skinning knife. Doesn't mention here. There's no comments or anything fun like that. Taught by optional reagent sounds, change log. Okay, I guess we don't have more information on this, or at least Wowhead doesn't have any more information on this. I am curious as to whether there's... I don't know what a heavy trunk necessarily means. Let's see if there's a Wowhead listing for heavy trunks. Heavy trunk, bountiful heavy trunk. Okay, I'm guessing these are the end boss the like ending chests for delves. Let's also see if is this recipe bind on pickup. Okay, it looks like this recipe may be BOE, so we can pick it up on our main and then transfer it over to our blacksmith. But okay, that clarifies that for us. All right, what profession should we look at next? I know blacksmithing has the most tools that they craft, but tailoring is probably a good one to do next, because tailoring also crafts quite a few profession tools. And let's see where they get those recipes from. Double checking that I'm not muted again. All right, Artisan's Alchemist Robe is 150 Artisan's Acuity plus 1,500 of, I can never for the life of me remember what that currency is called. I think it's called Kej. If you're watching live, drop a message in chat. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that like a moron or if that is the correct pronunciation. But basically we'll need 150 Artisan's Acuity plus some Kej, which is account transferable, so we can farm that up on our main and transfer it over. I just don't know how hard it is to come by Kej. I haven't spent too much time on the beta leveling runs just because I want to keep some of the newness for actual launch day, and I feel like that's always fun, right? Artisan's Alchemist Robe, Artisan Alchemist's Robe. Alchemy will need 150 Artisan's Acuity plus 1,500 Kej. Now, where do we have Wowhead? Let's see if Wowhead has any details about all of our sources of Kej, because I also do want to understand exactly how valuable Kej is going to be. Is 1,500 like? Is that something that's going to take like, you know, a serious amount of gathering in order to get, or can we come upon it pretty easily? It looks like it's only rewarded by one quest, and then the rest looks like it's dropped. I'm not sure if these are rares. It does look like elites and rares are more likely to drop it, and we don't have drop rates here, unfortunately, because I think Wowhead isn't able to properly like figure out currencies. But given the fact that it does seem to drop off of a bunch of regular mobs as well, this may be a case where you can sort of just brute force it and farm the absolute crap out of it. So I think we may be able to just no life grind the Kej. Let's see if it's needed for any other recipes. The chef's hat. Oh, I guess we didn't look at cooking, but we should probably throw cooking in here as well, and fishing for that matter. I don't know if I don't think there's treasures because we don't really have knowledge points. I'm really hoping that they do add that at some point into like maybe one of the later patches or whatever, right? However they want to do it, I'm fine with it. They have my approval, which I know Blizzard desperately seeks. I hate that it uses up Artisan's Acuity, just because of the fact that I really don't see myself spending Artisan's Acuity on a cooking profession tool anytime soon. Though, honestly, with cooking, early expansion, you can make a boatload of gold, especially since it's on the region-wide auction house. And it is super easy to level up cooking, right? We did it on stream a couple of weeks ago. May have been as long as a month or two ago. And so we may, if we have an alt to spare, we may actually try and unlock this recipe for ourselves. But let's just quickly add cooking and fishing into here as well, because I suppose there are profession tools for those as well that we would want to craft. Right, and it's accessory 1 and accessory 2 should be all that we have for those two professions, right, being secondary professions. And one accessory for cooking is going to come from inscription, or is it an accessory and a tool? We'll have to see where we get the recipe for that. And we have the chef's hat, which comes from tailoring. Oh, I guess one's a tool, well, so I guess it's more of a tool and an accessory. For both of these, right? Because I guess one of them is like a fishing rod or a fish finder or whatever. And then the accessory comes from tailoring. and both cost 300 artisan security as well. So essentially, you'd need an alt for each of these if you're planning on using your alt army to craft profession equipment for your for your secondaries. And I guess fishing doesn't actually have an accessory; it just has a tool, which is again a fisher friend, and that comes from engineering again. I say again because that's how it worked in Dragonflight as well. All right, where were we? Tailoring. We were looking at where we get the recipes for our various profession tools. So the chef's hat comes from. Is this a boss? I think that's a boss in the dungeon, right? Which dungeon was it? Cinder. Oh, can we just not run it, or does? Oh, here we go. Cinderbrew, Metairie, Goldie. All right, so the end boss of this dungeon, I guess, can drop the recipe. It is strange that it doesn't show up on any of these drop tables here. I wonder if we go back up to this page. On Mythic, maybe it doesn't drop. On Heroic, does it drop? On Normal, they may just not have added it to the dungeon guide, and it drops off of the boss. But boss drop Cinderbrew Meadery. So that's not great. Dornagle 150 artisan security. I didn't think I would be happy to see yet another recipe that we need to farm up artisan security for, but honestly that does seem like the least painful way that we can come upon these recipes. And the fishing cap also works the same, I guess. Wait, what? There's a fishing cap as well. Why did that not show up on the crafting orders thing? Profession equipment, fishing. Huh? I'm just gonna search for cap and let's see if that... Artisan fishing cap. It's just like not tagged, I guess. Very strange. Very, very strange. In any case, I guess there is a fishing accessory and it's crafted by tailors, which isn't all that surprising because I believe that is how it also worked in Dragonflight. And that will also cost us 150 artisan security. Jeez. Oh God, I'm already sick of hearing about artisan security, and we haven't even started the expansion yet. So that's not a great sign. Artisan's gardening hat, which is the herbalism tool, or the herbalism accessory, I suppose. Okay, thank God. The tailoring cloak we just learn off the trainer for 270 gold. Oh, okay, that'll be an easy alt to make. And I guess we could technically mention this as well because of the fact that the Algari Weaver line does also give you a bonus, technically speaking, to your fishing. And I think there's an achievement somewhere along the way here as well that will also unlock some additional, which will make that account wide for you. I wanted to see if they had added an achievement to collect more mounts, but it doesn't look like this server has copied over my mount collection, and so I can't see the further achievements. But I think it was one of the profession achievements. We were looking through profession achievements the other day, and we saw that one of them makes your Weaver thread account wide, which, yeah, here, share seeker thread, share the seeker thread collected across your warband, share the angler thread collected across your warband. And so this is kind of interesting. Oh, they've got the Merildar Fishing Derby, which is going to reward a mount. I'm always hesitant about these because, especially playing on a full population server, it's always rough trying to do any of these, right? Any of these, like the fishing tournament and stuff like that. These days, I think it's just you're better off not even trying to get it, because you're probably not going to be the first to finish it unless you have like an entire guild trying to sort it for you. And it looks like we don't know what that mount looks like. I'm supposing Wowhead would have something about it. I'm sure it's a cool looking mount, or I mean, if it's really something lame, like it's not in the mount journal yet, but if it's just a recolor of one of the existing models, that's gonna be kind of lame. Okay, I guess this is what the mount looks like, and it does look like it's just a recolor of the Underlight Angler, unless I'm getting something wrong. Anyway, irrelevant, but the point is this will be account wide, so people will want to buy this, especially if they're fishing a whole bunch, right? 100 perception is great, right? If you're fishing, you're trying to make more gold, you'll definitely want to pick that up as well. So I suppose it is worth mentioning here, and tailors craft that as well. Where do we get the recipe from this? Well, directly off the vendor itself, it looks like. So profession trainer, and I guess it's only going to cost like 50 gold or 270 gold as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, now we need to drop both of these professions and pick up new professions. We will at some point come back and test out whether we get whether we get artisan's acuity from first craft bonuses, or whether doing patron work orders gives us enough artisan's acuity that we can sort of just pay to buy all of our profession tools that way. And when I say pay, either we buy the mats off of the auction house and spend a boatload of gold that way, or we use some of the logic that I would at no other point in this game recommend, which is because I farmed X item is free, right? That's never how this game works. It's all a matter of spending time, and like your time is your gold, right? Time is money, friend, as the goblins like to say. But at the start of an expansion, a lot of times you may not have another choice. You may just need to pick up some gathering professions on one of your alts and fly around and actually get mats for yourself. Anyway, we'll look at a couple more professions in a second. I'm just going to take a quick little break and we will be right back. Thank you, folks. All right, we are back. So we got through blacksmithing and tailoring. We're now gonna pick up. Let's do leatherworking. And I don't think alchemy crafts any profession tools, right? So let's just do leatherworking, and then we will do. Let's do leatherworking and engineering, because I think both of those have quite a few profession tools that they craft. But anyways, let's do them one at a time. No point in rushing here. All right, now profession equipment. With leatherworking, we craft profession tools for, where is it? Profession, here we go. For leatherworking, and that's 150 artisans acuity. All right, let's pop that in here. The engineering accessory is also 150 artisans acuity. Fairly simple so far. 150 artisans acuity and cash. And this is the skinning accessory. Yeah, one of the skinning accessories. And so thankfully we may not need to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna bother getting